Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Before I go to Anuswara, beautiful letter, which will be explained with a mudra and with the Om symbol. One remark about Astu. Last time we had Astu in a little mantra, Ishvararpanam Astu. Let this be an offering to Ishvara. There was Astu. So Astu is an imperative case. I teached. So here we see it also in this mantra. You see, Astu. I changed the translation a little bit according with your sheet because it wasn't exactly correct, because this is a third person form, Astu. That's why I said, may our study be radiant. And this Astu is a third person imperative with us being. That's why I say may it be. It's a kind of a requesting way of using an imperative. You see the same form actually also here. You see? Here's two, and here is two. It's all the same form, third person imperative. That's why it says here, let him. Him means Ishvara. Ishvara is a masculine word. Let him nourish us, and may we both be protected. So I'll send this translation sheet in the next email. So I say this, it's a new sheet, so you can use it from now on. Okay.
Simon, could you repeat that, please? Could you
The
repeat?
whole explanation of what specific?
Not the whole thing. No, not the whole thing. Just
I changed the translation a little bit.
Yeah, you say us. Us is and two. The two is the third person imperative.
Yeah, so I have to change this also. That's true. You see, may we, it says here. Actually, it should say, let him protect us. That's what it literally says. Like, you see here, it's in the third person, let him. You see?
Two is third person.
That's the conjugation of us in the imperative form, or any verb in the imperative form becomes tu.
Okay.
So that's why these are all third person forms. Yeah, you see all kinds of translations, and usually it's not precise. So I want to make it a bit more precise, because I took a general translation in the first instance, but now we're going to make it precise. So I'll send you the new sheet, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay. Am I in the image for you all?
Yes.
Because somehow I only see myself small. I don't know how this comes, but okay. I want to go to Anuswara. I mean, because I see you, Vinita, and I'm not sure if it's going to be in the recording. Sorry for this. How do I change this?
I see all the people on the top and you big.
Sorry?
I see all the people in small and I see you big.
Oh, that's cool. But no, I don't see it, so I'm afraid I don't know how the recording will be. You see? Are you unmuted, Vinita?
Yes, I am unmuted, but I'm
Okay.
okay. I'll unmute
Well,
myself.
I'll continue. I don't know. Okay. So, Anuswara, it's the M letter with the dot on top or the dot under. You see it in a normal script. In Devanagari, it's only a dot above a consonant. I want to show this according to a mudra, and a special mudra. I think you know this teaching, but there's always something new. It's called jhana mudra, knowledge mudra, but also it's sometimes called chin mudra, awareness mudra. And it's a very deep symbol actually, because the whole teaching is in here. Let's start with these three fingers here. In Mandukya Upanishad is explained that the three words of Aum are the waking state, the dreaming state, and the deep sleep state. That is Jagrat Avastha, Swapna Avastha, Sushupti Avastha. So first the waking state. In a waking state, an individual is complete. It has all three bodies. It has a causal body, Karana Sharira. It has a subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. And it has a gross body, Sthula Sharira. Complete jiva with all this stuff and troubles. And in the dream state, there's a jiva only with a causal body and a subtle body. And this subtle body in the dreaming state somehow makes all kinds of mixes of what it experiences in the waking state. But it's a bit more subtle, no? There's no gross world. This all comes from the causal body, even more subtle, not manifested. So there's a kind of a graduation of subtlety, because we're going to consciousness. These two fingers are, well, let's say these two fingers are awareness, consciousness together, chin. This is pure consciousness now for now, and this is, well, this has a special function now. This will be pure consciousness, but this finger has a function now in the teaching, because it's all about knowledge. We could call this a knowledge finger, or an attention finger, or a identification finger. So where am I identified with? What is my knowledge? Am I identified with the states? And I think I'm living in this universe, in this area, or am I identified with pure consciousness? And here you see it happening, no? Somehow it becomes a nice and pure circle, which symbolizes purity, non-duality, zero-ness. See, zero-ness. So this is about. Let me say it this way. Why am I telling this? Because Mandukya says this is A, this is U, this is M. In the I think the 8th verse it says Soyama Soyamatma Jaksharam Onkara Dimatra Pada Matra Matrascha Pada Akara Ukara Makara Iti. So the third finger symbolizes the causal body, and it's an Anuswara. it is actually unmanifest. So somehow it brings us to silence. And that's also what's happening in the sound aum, no? It's like aum. And Anuswara has, it's quite a complex theory, but it has nasical sounds in it. We will get to that because that also symbolizes sometimes that it's sounds are going up. It's going into unmanifest, into the divine. So there's so much deepness and symbolism in this mudra. Another way this mudra is explained sometimes is this is creation, Brahmaji, the creator aspect of Ishvara. It's called Srishti. This is well the being of things, the maintenance, let's say, Vishnu. It's called Sthiti. This finger is pralaya, going back into it, dissolving, annihilation. So going back into itself. Let's say Shiva. And you see that also in the language, of course, also in the symbol Om. Om is a symbol for the truth. And there's sound, and it goes into silence through the Anuswara. And literally, Anuswara means after the sound. You can also say with the sound, but after the sound in this context is better. So much symbolism. It's a beautiful teaching. And let's see. I wrote this down here in the sheet. Okay, go up. You see? Sorry. Yes, here we are. So you can read this. You can read this through. One more thing. Mandukya means frog-like, and that's why it's called the mandu or Manduka is frog. That's why it's called the Mandukya Upanishad. And I think you might have heard that from some teacher. The main reason, there are more reasons, but the main reason is that consciousness, seems to jump from state to state like a frog. We're going into, there's the waking state, there's the dream state, and then we go unmanifest. There's a kind of pralaya in our deep sleep. It goes over and over again every day. So there's a lot of Upanishad, a lot of Vedanta teaching here. I put it shortly here. So we were talking about Anuswara. That's here the M with the dot. And in Devanagari, we'll get to that when we start writing. It's just the dot above the consonant. Okay. That about Anuswara for now. And there was a lot of teaching there, but was this clear? Other questions? Okay, great. One new Sandhi rule. Sandhi rule. Because I said the mudra is a chin mudra, but why is it not a chit mudra? Because there's some Sandhi here. The T from chit in this case, before a M from mudra becomes an N. Simple. If you say chit mudra, it's not nice in your mouth. So it's a lot more logical way to make chin mudra. Chin mudra. Mudra means literally a seal, an imprint, an impression. That's why it came to be also in the meaning of a symbolical expression, usually of the hand. Another famous phrase where this sandhi is working is Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Na Paraha. And we will get to that one in the next lesson. You see here, this little part I wanted to show. Jagat Mithya. The world is relatively real, or is not real, is false, or is dependent real. Just how you would like to think of the meaning of Mithya. Jagat Mithya, so becomes here Jagan Mithya. Simple rule. So that's for Chin Mudra. So what more do we have?
Simon, could I ask, what's the rule there? Does it mean that whenever it ends with a th, that's like T,
Yes.
chit or jagat, it changes to n or a m? Is that what it is?
Yes. Well, only because if it comes before a M in this case. You see?
The chin mudra, it was n.
Yeah, but this is the
the ma.
letter. It's
Right,
about
right.
ma.
I get it now. Okay, before the ma. Yes.
The T for M, you see?
Yes, I get. Okay, I didn't see. Chin mudra, yeah.
Yes. Well, there's some logic if we start looking close to the alphabet, but we will see that later.
Okay.
Because
thanks.
there are more these kind of rules.
Is it? Okay. Thank you.
But I wanted to keep it a bit simple.
Yes.
Just T for M becomes N.
Okay.
And you see it, well, many of you heard also this Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, no?
Yes.
So you see this in working in action. It's nice, no?
Yes. Thank you.
So here we go. Also a beautiful thing, layered meaning, implied meaning. So this is about literal meaning of words and deeper meaning. And what is the literal meaning? Mukhyartha. Mukhyartha comes from mukha, which means in this context face, but it could also mean mouth. So why is it called mukhya? Well, it's a meaning which happens at first sight, in first instance, at the surface. It's superficial. So that's why I translated at first sight. And artha means a purpose or an aim. And what's the aim here? It's meaning, the meaning of a word. So mukhyata literally means straightforward, superficial, meaning you might have thought in first instance. But in Vedanta, it's usually a quite relative meaning. It's not the actual meaning. And therefore, they say you need a guru who explains you when to apply the superficial meaning and when to apply the deeper intended, implied meaning. And that's called lakshartha. So a laksha is well, what is intended? That which is pointed to, more literally. So that which is really defined. Artha, same thing. So now lakshartha means the actual intended meaning. And in Vedanta, usually it's, in the end, it's the absolute meaning of the truth itself. Well, I think I explained Mahatma, a great spirit. That's, in this case, that was the Mukhyartha, because Atma was meant, I think it was the second lesson. Atman there was meant for mind, for spirit. That's why a Mahatma is someone with a great mind. Because Atma, we're all Atman, no? So that's the deeper meaning. It was an example, but I also made two new examples here. And we take yoga. We take up yoga. A simple teaching, but crucial. Yoga means connection. From yuj, yuj, yuj. The y is pronounced y. The j here is pronounced j. So yuj, yuj. To connect, to join. Like in English, we say to yoke. Or a yoke between two oxes, no? So what's the mukhyartha of yoga? You see, the whole teaching comes together here again. Also the whole Veda. So we have three forms of yoga. For example, Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga is focusing, meditating until all objects are somehow not experienced in samadhi. But it's an action. We are focusing, we are meditating. And that's why, because it's an action, we have a result, samadhi, but it's kind of an experience. It's the experience of not having objects in the mind. A bit like in deep sleep, but different. But that's not permanent. So Ashtanga yoga, is it yoga in the deepest sense, like we do in Vedanta? Well, almost, but it's a preparation. Same thing with karma yoga. Offering all my actions to the Lord because they belong to the Lord. Saguna Ishvara, Saguna Brahman. No? So remembering myself that all I do and all I think is actually divine, is actually Ishvara, and I, pure consciousness, am free of this. But the yoga itself is also an action, no? And it's not pure, only karma yoga will not take us. We need knowledge. Upasana yoga, same thing. Meditation, it's meditation on Ishvara, seeing everything as divine. But meditation is also divined. A definition of meditation is that it is an action. It's an action of the mind. So we go into meditation, we come out of meditation. Are we permanently free then? No, not possible. What we need is knowledge yoga. And the fun thing is, why do we need knowledge? Because connecting ourselves with something we are already connected with is actually not possible, no? We need to know that we are already totally connected with the truth, that we are the truth. So that's jhana yoga. Jhana yoga says, well, I have the knowledge that I am the connection, that I am connected. That's the deeper meaning of yoga. Then it's not really an action anymore. It's just knowing what is, just knowing how it is. And that's is expressed in the jhana kanda, the knowledge side of the Vedas, the Upanishads. And these kind of yogas, especially karma, upasana yoga, worship, are expressed in the karma kanda of the Vedas. So this is a way of explaining superficial meaning and deeper meaning. It's all very subtle. Now we go a bit more to the language. There I thought of the term akshara. Maybe you heard of this? Akshara. Akshara literally means imperishable, because kshara means perishable. And what is in language? What is imperishable? Well, actually, the smallest unity is imperishable, and that's why a letter of the alphabet is called an akshara. But it's not the truth, of course. Letters are kind of perishable. That's why it's a mukhyartha, a superficial meaning of the word akshara. A syllable is sometimes also called an akshara, because that's why the Mandukya Upanishad starts with in verse 1. It says, Om Icherat Aksharam Omkara. Om. This syllable is Om. That's why the Mandukya started. Om Icherat Aksharam Idegum Sarvam Tashyopya Vyakyanam Bhutam Bhata Bhavat Bhavishyat Iti Sarvam Omkara Yeva, etc. So that's a superficial meaning of the word akshara. But in the Mundaka Upanishad, this is really nice, they use the word akshara for Brahman as the imperishable. Sometimes it's used together, akshara Brahman, but there are verses, one of these verses, they also just say akshara, and it really means Brahman itself. So that's the lakshartha meaning of akshara, the deeper meaning. And you have this with so many words in Vedanta, so we always have to take care. And yeah, well, a teacher ought to tell us, ought to know. So a good teacher is one who can always distinguish between superficial meaning and between implied meaning. Okay. Now a bit more common grammar.
Simon, can I clarify just briefly? It says that akshara is Brahman, right?
Yes.
This akshara, all the aksharas, is it like all the consonants and vowels? Is that what they're saying? Like e, u, and so on?
No, this is a total different context. So here, just the word akshara.
Yes.
It's got nothing to do with syllable, letter. In the Mundaka, it's just the word is used as a word for Brahman. because it means imperishable. So
Okay.
the whole context in which the word is applied
Yes.
is different in these cases. You see?
Okay, so it's nothing to do with that. With
Yeah,
the
but some
letters.
no, but in our mind, if we read like akshara, oh, that means letter. Well, you
Yes.
have to know where you're at, in which context, in which text, and what is meant at a specific in a specific context, no, of the
Okay.
text by the word akshara.
So in this context, it's just another name for Brahman.
Yes, in the Mundaka Upanishad. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But when someone who just learned akshara means letter, he starts reading the Mundaka Upanishad, he says, "Oh, what it says letter? I don't understand." You see, and therefore you have to know it means imperishable. When it's meant letter, it means imperishable because it's just the smallest unit. Like they think of an atom is the smallest. You cannot divide an atom or something like that. Is a different way of applying meaning. You see? So it's
Okay.
always about meaning.
It's the metaphorical, like symbolical.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Sort of. Yes.
Mhm.
Good question. Thanks. So here we go to a famous verb, jna. Jna. I looked it up at a Sanskrit scholar, actually just on YouTube, and he explained, well, people start doing here all kinds of strange things, pronouncing this, but just keep it simple. Just say the j, here the j, and this is actually expressed if it's on its own as nya, nya, but in jna, just do the j and pronounce the n and say jna. Not too much like jnya or something. Jna. To know. So jnana is knowledge, as we know. So and here I wanted to point out a little thing, because we all know the word jnani. We all use the word jnani. A jnani is someone who has knowledge and therefore is free. But actually, this is the first case of the stem form jhanin. And if we learn Sanskrit, we have to know these kind of things. The original word from which this first case comes is jhanin. And what can we say about this? Well, a, a jnanin is someone who has knowledge, jnana. And this little suffix in expresses that something or someone has the quality of which it describes. So in this case, in means jhanin means someone who has knowledge. Same thing with the words like adhikari is the first case. Of the word adhikarin. Same thing. Oh, I should have. This is not good. Sorry. Should say Swami here. It's Swami. Is actually the stem form is Swamin. And it literally means someone who has control over oneself. That's beautiful, no? That's what it actually means. We always translate it, oh, that's a Swami is a teacher. Well, usually they are teachers, but it doesn't have to. A Swami means someone who has control of oneself, which is not so easy to have really control over yourself, is it? So see, every time the same phenomena. You see here, Swami, first case of Swamin. Adhikari, first case of Adhikarin. Jani, first case of Janin. And you hear these teachers use these words. Oh, that's a samsari. Now I go into the world. I'll be a samsari for a moment. That comes from samsarin, one who depends on or is identified with samsara. Same thing with one who thinks he's the doer. Oh, I wrote the wrong words here. It's a karmi. Comes from karmin. So now we can play a little bit with this. If you hear kama kami, two words is a compound together. It's one who desires lust, kama. So it's a pleasure seeker, a kama kami. So kami is the first case of kamin. Okay, that was a little. I went a bit off track because we still were talking about the verb jna. So let us conjugate jna. It's grouped in this case, it's grouped in the Gana 1. So we learn some suffixes. The stem form becomes jan, that's just how it is. And then we get for I, we get ami. Remember bhavami? I am, I become. You know becomes janasi. She, he, it knows. Third person becomes janati. It's just something we have to get notion of and have to take note of and learn a bit, but it will come. Of course, like asmi, asi, at, asti, we see this suffix is back here, no? Now we're going to do some more conjugation of this verb. Some new suffixes. We know. In case of we know, this is the suffix you know, you all know. So that's a plural. This is plural. Then we get atta. It's just how it is. Janata, you know, you all know. Plural. They know, third person, plural. Jananti, jananti. And just something to learn or to recognize might be enough. But we will repeat this a lot, of course. Now another subject, we go to nouns. And nouns have three genders in Sanskrit: masculine, neuter, and feminine. In dictionaries, it's given what gender the word has. In the most standard dictionary in the Sanskrit world is quite old already, but very complete. It's the Monnier-Williams. And all Sanskrit scholars use this. And there's a nice digital version from this. And here I gave the link. We can look at this closer in some lesson later. But you can, if you like to, you can look some words up. For example, copy Janin in there. Or you copy words like this, bala or bala, in there, and you get the explanation, and you see also genders, etc. So what's important here? Important is that you enter the stem form of a word, else it will not give anything. So in the case of Jani, you will not get any explanation or meaning. You have to give in the lemma Janin or Bala. That's how it is. So from now on, I will introduce the genders behind nouns, so we can make proper declensions. Yes, last time I introduced the second case, and now I will say something more when to use a second case. A second case is used when it's it's kind of a direct object of an active sentence. Like in we worship Krishna. Last time we explained in the second case on words ending up on a, ending in a, I should say. They get a M. They take a M, a ma. So it becomes Krishnam Namamaha. We just learned for the we form Amaha. Nam means worshipping or greeting. So greeting Krishna, we say in Sanskrit, Krishnam Namamaha. So this is in the second case. The second case is also used when indicating heading for a direction or a time period, but you see more this direction construction. For example, we're going to Karnataka, yay! Karnatakam gacchataha. So gacchataha is the you form in the plural. So let's say you, plural here. You all are going to Karnataka. Karnatakam gacchataha. They are going to Karnataka. Well, same thing. Karnatakam gacchanti. This is the third person plural form. We just learned it here with jna gacchanti. This is all simple logic, but we have to get used a little bit now, because now we get these little sentences with cases where the nouns are decleansed into functions into the sentence, which is expressed by grammatical cases. So more examples. Balam bhavasi. You become bhavasi. A child or a boy. Balam. Second case. M. Or shishya. The student in the first case. That's why here's the visarga here. Sukham bhavati. What does the student become? Happy, sukham. In the second case. One little thing, here we can apply this is the superficial meaning, the student becomes happy. But if we say the student becomes happiness, that's also a proper translation, but it's like the deep meaning for one who knows. Because then sukha is a noun. And in the case of the student becomes happy, sukha is an adjective. You see, it's a little nuance here. So the student becomes happy, or by knowledge, it becomes happiness itself. Interesting, eh? Same thing with second case nouns ending in u, like with guru. They also get just an M, same kind of thing. So we have adhikar in here, it's a qualified student. So the adhikari, the qualified student in the first case, goes, gacchati, to the guru. Second case, gurum. That's how it should be. It should be that a qualified person goes to the guru. Okay, here we put it in a little schedule, a little overview. Masculine forms get a visarga in the first case and a M, a ma in the second case. And neutral words like pala, they not only get an M in the second case, but also in the first case. That's just how it is. Furthermore, all words ending in a, which are masculine or neutral, are declined the same way. Yes, this is with these cases is just something we also have to learn a little bit. I try not to present you too much forms. That's why I only present forms which we can use in mantras, no? But we have to introduce cases, else we cannot understand precisely what is being said or what is being written.
Simon, can I just clarify one or two things? When you say declension or decline,
yes,
as of course earlier you mentioned conjugation. Does it mean declension is mainly for nouns?
Yes, correct.
And how about conjugation?
It's for verbs.
Okay.
But I always confuse the two. So I really had to study to remember.
The big words, yes. So
yes.
conjugation is verbs, whereas declension is for nouns.
Yeah, but it's not so important, but it's, that's how it's
to understand, yes.
agreed in language.
Yes.
True.
And the E, sorry, the last one you taught us, the 1E, 2E. What does E stand for?
E? What do you mean E? Sorry?
In the first case when you just mentioned on the...
Oh, yes, okay. So it also depends on where a stem form of a noun ends with. So in this case, the stem form is adhikarin. So it's not a word on a. You see? And then the first case is E.
Oh, so the 1E, lower down, when you look lower down, the first case and second case.
So this little schedule here is only for nouns which end in a.
And then they become E.
No, then they become visarga in the first case. but with words which end in.
Yes.
It's the first case is E. I'm sorry about that, but that's just how it is.
Yes.
In Sanskrit.
No, sorry, when you go down, you have one E and two E. Can you see that?
Where, but we haven't gone down yet. This
No,
is
yourself. No, same one, the same one. The palam.
Yes.
The pala on the extreme left.
Yes.
Under M. You have one E.
So this is all these this one and this
E.
one is just
Yes.
it's about the masculine here.
And the E?
And this but there's no E here, is there?
There is an E, one E, don't you? One E.
I don't see an E.
Oh, I see one E, then you have H, two E, you have M. I'm not sure that.
Oh, this just means, oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. No, this is, yeah, it's a Dutch way of expressing. This should be first case and second case.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
No,
No,
it's
this
okay
is
now.
just like this.
I understand. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry, because I'm coming out of Dutch and sorry for that.
No, it's okay. It's all right. At least
Yes.
you've clarified it now.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
So now we can, we have to take our time to consume this, no?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
So slowly we will kind of build out these kind of paradigms.
Mm.
And at the bottom of this lesson, I put it in little schedules, and you will see what I mean, because that we also have to know on which ending a noun has before we start declining. Yes.
It's very good what you're doing. It's the basics, isn't it? We need to know the basics.
Yeah, we have to start with the basics,
yes.
but it's not
excellent.
specifically easy, but it's more, but it's all about repetition. That's why I shouldn't go too fast, and I tend to go a bit fast sometimes. But that's why this lesson is quite a lot today.
Very
but
important.
Then I promise to do to present less from next time on. Remember, it will be so now. But I have to be in pace with the Dutch lesson because so I'm going to give today the same material. So now we go to the third case, and it's called the instrumental. It expresses the cause or the reason of things by, because of, or it expresses, accompaniment, I said. So just with, this or that, with. Or it expresses a means, by means of. So it's better to learn by examples, so let's go there. First of all, masculine and neutral nouns ending in a, take ena. Some who know some mantras know the form, will recognize this form. So if we have shastra, scripture, the third case is shastrena, with or because of scripture. So now I made again nice little mantras for you. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. I know Janami because of scripture. In the third case, Shastrena. I am Brahman because of scripture. I know that. Tat. So it's a whole line, but if you look close to it, you see, oh, I can follow this. We discussed this piece. Janami is just I know. And I know, well, with the scripture, we can say, or because of the scripture. Another example. Tvam, you are Brahman, Brahmasi. You know because of Ishvara, Ishvarena. It's also nice. So this is applied in a consequent way. But that's the third case, and there will always be some abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice, repeating. So it's it's all about abhyasa, abhyasa, abhyasa. Okay, here I'm ending. I also plan to teach the sixth case, but we'll not. So because of time, I will take this up in lesson 4 the next time, and I make a short lesson 5 with it. So here we go for next time. Oh yes. So here are the overview of the cases. Oh no, schedules. Well, it's not so difficult. This is words on a, either masculine or neutral. And this is what we learned already. So first case is on visarga. Second case, it's on ma. Neutral words, first case on ma. Second case also ma. And here we have masculine as well as neutral nouns take ena. I practice here with the word on a deva. You can take a close look. So why do I make a bit of paradigms now? Because then you get an overview. Because now you see, words on I, like the feminine shanti, are declined as shantihi, like we sing in Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. See, this is the first case form, which take also in the feminine visarga. In this lesson, I also said words on U take also an M in the second case, gurum. Now you see how it works. Works in ending in. Take this E in the first case, Jani. And don't be afraid, this is not endless. There are quite some word endings, but it's not endless. And then we also had words on an. Let me this to present it like this. Yes, an. Atman. It's the stem form. And we get in the first case Atma. Brahman. It's a neutral word. And words on an in the neutral form become Brahma and Brahma again. It's not something you can learn it by head. You can, but you can also just practice with it, and one day you just will know. We will leave that one for now. And here we get a nice overview from the verbs up till now. It's not so much. You can look at this. Oh, I did this with, should be boo, sorry. The long oo. Actually, I will do that in a minute. So here you see these are paradigms. We also had as in the second Gana, asmi, asi, asti. And we had an imperative form, which we see a lot in mantras, astu. Let it be, may she, may he be, in a nice worshipping, requesting form.
Simon, could I ask what Gana is? What's a Gana?
Gana, remember Gana means group?
A group.
And we said Ganesha is the Lord of all groups. Gana.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so it means literally group.
So here, Bhavami is a group of Bhavami.
Yes. I explained in
sorry, in the first lesson.
First or second lesson, but it's okay. That's okay.
I have to go back.
Verbs
mm-hmm.
are there are 10 different groups of verbs in Sanskrit. Oh. Yes,
that's when the Gana comes in.
Yes, they are. So here I said something. Didn't I say some verb here? I said huge. Huge had a 7. Maybe you noticed.
Yes, you mentioned, yes.
I didn't decline it, but it's in the 7th group. I just also to get used a bit to this kind of thing, but it's just group. It just means group.
Okay,
but it's a nice word to know because it's also in Ganesha, the Isha, the Lord of all groups, Gana. You see? So it's a nice word.
In words, how does that come in words? Like Gana. Like Ganesha, yes, of course. They say Ganesha group of Ganas, he got Gana. Is it? Sorry, in the language, in Sanskrit language.
Yes.
Gana, is it like a generic form for a group of words, is it?
Oh, there must be a dhatu form, a root form for sure. I don't know it now.
No, Gana.
Probably just Gan. But we can look this up because there are many dhatus.
Yes, it's used quite often, this Gana. I've never understood. I've heard that word before for Sanskrit alone, the language.
Yes. That's a simple word. It's just means, well, group.
Okay, yeah.
And it's applied here in the... So I think, I don't know who thought of this. There's probably this ancient grammarian Panini. But this is how it is.
For example, the us, does it, so I'm just trying to clarify, us is the group, is it? Us, for us, me. Us, me, us, he, us.
Yes, but there are more verbs in group 2, eh?
Okay.
So they have specific features. Because here in group 1, you get this theme, an ah. It looks like, the suffix looks like me here.
Yes.
But we get here me in the first person, you see? So that's a feature of group 1. This It's called thematic ways of declining. And this is called thematic.
So does it mean
having a theme?
When we decline verbs,
yes,
the verbs will be declined according to the groups?
Yes.
Okay.
So every group has its own
rules.
I want to keep it a bit simple because else you get, but every group has actually its own way of making the stem form. Because we have the dhatu of a verb.
Yes.
Then we have to make a stem. Actually, this is the stem for this word in this group. And then we get the suffix, you see? But I don't want to be too theoretical. So with group, so verbs in group 2 just get just take the dhatu and then the suffix. Verbs in group 1 take the and then they take the suffix. But it's something we will recognize. We don't have to know the whole theory behind it because that's too much and too complex, I think, for now, especially for now. Okay?
Yes, all right. No, good. I'm glad you explained that. No, it's very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, the thing is, because now we also did compounds, samasa. We did verbs, we did nouns.
Yes.
Well, we almost had the whole structure of the Sanskrit grammar now. And then it's just going deeper into it, filling in. But we almost had the whole structure of,
Yes.
and so that's why how I present it.
No, it's very good.
Because then we have a bit of overview, and then we can go easily to
Yes, thank you.
existing mantras. Yes.
That's very good.
So there's some abhyasa here. I don't know why I put it here, but let it be an offering to the Lord again. Ishwararpanamastu. Okay, let's go, because of course, we run over time. Sorry for that. Let's go do some writing. We go back to Om, which is actually Aum, like the Mandukya Upanishad says. You see here the word A and U, that they actually become O. We had that, we did teach that in the previous lessons, no? It's just also a sound thing. A plus U becomes O. So about the symbol Om. First this, A, waking state, and we write A like this. At the beginning of a word, it is A. I explained U manifests after a Ra in this way. So this is a way U can manifest. And we had the Anuswara, you see? So do you recognize now the Om sound, Om symbol in this? Yes, we do. Look, somehow this comes from the A. Here's the U, and this is the M. In Om, they make it a special Anuswara, which is called a Chandra Bindu. Chandra Bindu. Chandra means moon, and Bindu means dot or point or tear also. But a Chandra Bindu is like this. So here we have Om. Chandra Bindu yeah, it's used especially in the Vedas. You see less in classical Sanskrit. In a specific way, which is, I think, quite complex. We're not going into when Chandra Bindu is used and when Anuswara, but they have a strong connection. Anuswara and Chandra Bindu, almost the same function. So this is how the symbol is constructed. Now we're gonna see how it works in a word, Anuswara in a word. We say Hamsa. We don't say Hamsa here. We make it a bit more nasal with Anuswara. Hamsa. So we do an aha, ha. This is the ha. And now we just put the dot on top. This is how hum is written. And then we make sa. Not so nice, but it's a sa, sorry. And of course, what I call non-dual connection, the line on top. Well, I do this. This is not so nice. I do it again. Ha with the dot. And sa. Hamsa, swan, which we know from also kind of holy names like Paramahamsa, supreme swan, which is a word for truth, or someone who knows the truth. E, at the beginning of a word. So we had E in a word, which was last time, which was like this, and then before the consonant, and it like this. This is E in a word, but E at the beginning of a word is this sign in Devanagari. Just a little vertical because we go to the letter now. It's like a bit like this, then a bit bigger like this, and then we go down. This is E, the beginning of a word. Ah, Iha. Iha. Iha means here. Oops. Sometimes this Iha is really used in scripture as here in this life, in this manifested form with all my karma. They say Iha, here. So let's write Iha, which means here. Not there, but here. So we do at the beginning of a word and yeah, here. Iwa, Iwa, as, like. Also an important little conjunction word because it's in scripture it's used when a metaphor or an allegory is presented as a teaching tool. Like this is the truth as the moon is a reflection of the sun or something, then I can use Iwa as or like. So E at the beginning of a word. Oh, sorry, I make a mistake. Again. And then the wa. Did we have the wa already? Wa? I think so. It's a not complete circle, but more a, how's this called? Like this, and then with the vertical. Ewa. Ewa. Next. So the double E, the strong E, the long E at the beginning of a word. It's the same like E, short E at the beginning of a word, but with a little extra. So it's the E, we make the E at the beginning of a word. And long E gets this curl on top. This is long E. The extra is this curl on top. You will see in the sheet how the font will express it. The font of the typographical words. Okay, an example. Isha. So we get the long E at the beginning of a word. Sorry. Which starts like a short I at the beginning of a word, but then with the curl on top. That's how I call it now. And then the sha, I think it's a new letter. Sha, palatal S sound. Sha. It's kind of a two in this way. And then with a vertical. This is sha. Sometimes you see the line underbroken here, like this. But nowadays you see also more and more in fonts, Devanagari fonts, that the line is continued. It doesn't matter so much as long as you recognize it. So this is Isha, a short word for the Lord, that which rules. Ish. Chit. Just a. Oh, chit. The cha. Cha. Cha is new. This is pronounced cha. And it goes like this. A little horizontal. And then we make a round form like this. And then with the vertical. You see it a lot like this. Sometimes you see it like in a closed form. It's all the way here. You also see it like this, but it's okay. So let's make chit. Of course, we have to, I in a word comes before the consonant. We have to start with I. Then we make the cha. And then the ta, normal ta. Not so neat, but this is how chit is written in Devanagari. More practice. Itti. More ease. Thus. E at the beginning of a word. E in a word or at the end of a word comes first. Before the T, we write it. Then the T itself. Makes itti. Itti. And this all takes a while. But if at a certain point you really start enjoying writing these beautiful letters. And now E in a word or at the end of a word. Oh yes. So the short I comes before the consonant in script. Well, the long I in a word comes after the consonant, somehow refers back to it. It's like this. Well, it should be more done like this. So how does that look like in a word? Yes, I made D, which is another little word for intellect, reason. You see this in scripture. I think it's in the, how's this mantra called? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, the Gayatri mantra, I think it says D for intellect.
Imahi.
Yeah, right, D, Mahi. Right, thank you. So the da is an aspirated da, is a da. So this is one letter, da. This, it's like a three the other way around, like this. And then with a could be done in a more aesthetical way. So let's try da, like this, and then I think this is nicer. And then we get the e behind the long e, which refers back to the da, makes d, like this. Sometimes you see it goes all the way to the top horizontal. Sometimes it's a bit open. It's okay. Oh, here we are. Okay. Almost at the end of the lesson. Just some last things about the letters. I put the new letters in the sheet. You can look it up. And a bit about the word list, the glossary of today. These little words like cha and iwa, iha, they are called indeclinable. So that's nice because they are not being declined. So that this is the abbreviation of that in a word list, ind. So that's easy. And sometimes behind an adjective, which says something about a noun, it's in the lexicons it says MFN. That's a way of saying masculine, feminine, or neutral. And why is it said like this for an adjective? Because an adjective in a sentence takes on the gender of the noun it refers to. So that's the new rule. An adjective conforms in case and gender to the word it describes. In case we already said, but it also confirms in gender. We will see later how this works. But then for now, it's just in a way of explaining why here, for example, Ananta, endless, you see MFN. I'm following this because it's also in the Monier-Williams, the lexicon. So you can recognize. So, enough material for today, maybe way too much. In that case, I'm sorry. We will make the lessons a bit more brief next time. Are there any questions for now?
I feel it's a very good lesson.
Yes?
A lot,
Okay.
yes, but we need to revise, of course, but I think you give an overview of many parts, which is very good.
Yes. That's that's how it's meant. Well,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Okay, we can close now. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.